What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cjrb Ekko design by Ray Laconico. Let's get into it. Really excited to check this one out. What we're going to start out with today are some size reference knives. We're going to start with the Elementum 2 button lock, and we're going to bring out the Cjrb Praxis. As you can see, this is more of a medium-sized knife. It's going to be a little bit larger than the Elementum 2 button lock, and it is going to be substantially smaller than the Praxis. Let's go ahead and bring out the Spyderco Shaman, which is another knife that I like to use for size reference on this channel. And we're going to go ahead and bring out the Demko 80 20.5. This is going to be more in line with your 20.5. A little bit less blade length on the 20.5, but your handle length is going to be almost identical. Let me go ahead and move the Shaman out of the way. We'll go ahead and bring in the ProTech Mordax, which is going to be a little bit larger. And we'll move the 80 20.5 out of the way and bring in the Bug Out. The Bug Out is going to be more in line with the size of the Ekko. Let me go ahead and do some thickness profile comparisons as well. I think this will be very interesting for folks that are wondering what it's going to feel like in hand and how it's going to carry. This is right in line with the Bug Out. As you can see here, they're almost identical in thickness. And then we're going to bring the 80 20.5 back out here. Almost identical in thickness, if not identical. And then just because it's a little bit thicker, we'll bring the Elementum 2 button lock back out here, and you can see much thicker. So this is very thin, which is going to be a very nice carry. It's going to go in and out of the pocket nicely. It's going to take up minimal space, and the weight on it, which I forgot to check on this, is not coming in too heavy. At least it doesn't feel like it. 3.7. Actually, that's a little bit heavier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be coming in closer to that 3-ounce mark, but it's actually 3.7 with those steel liners. Let's jump into ergos. Now, it is a little bit thin, but what I like about this Laconico design is that he kept this nice and chunky back here. And while it does look like it throws the knife off a little bit as far as the balance is concerned, it actually ends up, and sorry, the carbon fiber laminate keeps sliding on me. It ends up feeling nice in hand because I can get all 4 fingers. Well, I'm hanging off the back, I lied a little bit. With that choil, I'm able to get 4-finger grip on here, and it's very comfortable. And it has enough of a landing pad here to where I can get 1/4 of the front finger on, and then I'm able to get all 4 fingers on here comfortably, and it feels locked in because of the way this contouring happens. It's a gradual drop here, and it's a big drop there. Very comfortable in hand, and without the liner locks, there's no hot spots whatsoever. I can feel the pocket clip, but because it's so chamfered, or it's chamfered so well, it feels really comfortable in hand. I really like the way that this handles when I'm using it to cut. Let's jump into the action. You have a front flipper. You have a deployment hole. You can use this for the reverse flick. You can thumb flick it, but I kind of got to wedge in a little bit for my larger thumbs to deploy it. And that front flipper works just fine. Now, it feels more tuned for the opening hole, in my opinion, than the front flipper. The front flipper feels a little muted when I go to deploy it. The jimping on there is not the best, but because there's such a proud front flipper on here, it works really well. You can just go straight back with it every time, no issues. Now, I like the sounds on this while we're talking about opening and closing. Have a listen to this. Really cool sounds on there. I like that a lot. The blade, very thin and slicey. Sorry. And it is knocked down. It's not chamfered, it's flat, but it's knocked down, so it's not feeling sharp at all anywhere here. And then out towards the tip, they gave you a swedge so that when you're going through cuts out here towards the tip, you're not going to get any drag. It's going to just glide right off the swedge out on the tip there, which is really nice. Beautiful stone wash on the AR RPM 9 as well. Really good finishing on here. I like that a lot. You got the Ray Laconico and small billboarding. You have the blade steel up here as well as the model number. So really well done. I like that they kept that branding down to a minimum. For the utility cuts, this is the perfect blade shape. I love this because you still have enough of a tip to puncture if you need to get into something to start your cut. So if you're working on a large piece of cardboard and you're starting from the middle, working your way out or something like that, trying to control it, you do have enough tip here to puncture, but you have also enough of a drop to where your utility cuts, draw cuts, pinch cuts, all of those are going to work really good on here. If it wouldn't drive the cost of the knife up, I also would have liked to seen some milling happening on these steel liners to bring that 3.7 ounce weight closer to the 3 ounce weight. Something this size should probably feel like it carries a little bit lighter than it does. And I really think that milling on the liners would really help. Now they get bonus points for making this reversible because it is an ambidextrous lock. And I'll be honest, I really think button locks work better left-handed because it's less motion for you to move for fidgeting, which is not a prerequisite. It's not the main thing on a knife. For me, the ergos and how the steel performs and the action are like the main things. But to me, it's a little bit easier. Oops, my finger slipped. It's a little bit easier for me, in my opinion, to operate button locks as a lefty. And also, I feel like as a lefty, the way your hand lands on this, you're far enough back. Even when you choke up, you're still positioned in a way to where that button, because it is recessed, you're not going to engage it using this left-handed. So I do like that a lot. The other thing that I think Cjrb is doing that's very interesting is they're coming out with the button lock variant at the same time that they're coming out with the liner lock variant. I'd also be curious to see, and I may even order a liner lock because I actually like this knife a lot, but I might order the liner lock version of this to do a comparison of the two together. Weight, how the ergos feel, if they change any. The liner lock one, if I recall correctly, are nested liners with contoured scales. So it is going to change the aesthetic a little bit as well. Now, liner locks aren't as fidgety, but the opening hole still being on the liner lock variant with the front hole or front flipper, the front hole, what is that? Front flipper is still going to make it very fidgety, but I actually may order the micarta variant because I want to look at their micarta as well with the liner lock to kind of compare these two. But for under $50, you're getting AR, or maybe it's right at 50. I'm saying under 50, but it might be like 52. I can't really remember now that I'm thinking, but you're getting AR RPM 9 button lock, a Ray Laconico design, which Ray does a good job keeping things neutral and very ergonomically friendly, which is something that I really love in a knife. And this one here, whoo, and the sounds on this, man. Are awesome. And there, it has not moved. No side to side, no up and down, and I am wrenching. It is locked up solid. Really cool knife. There will be a disassembly coming for this shortly after the review comes out. I do want to take it apart, clean it, take some bearing size measurements for those interested in potentially upgrading to rocket glides on this one, although this is really it doesn't need it. But if you wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and take care of all that in the disassembly for this one. I love this. This is an easy recommendation. Under $50, you're getting a powdered steel that is corrosive resistant, holds a good edge, performs like 9CR 18 MOV. Man, that's a great deal for a knife like this. Very well built. Finishes are very nice. Highly recommend checking them out. I have Artisan Cutlery, Cjrb linked down below, and some of your favorite retailers. Go check them out there. I checked this out on Amazon and it was like 70 bucks. Don't go to Amazon and pay that. That's too much. That's too much. They need to drop that price on the Amazon store. That's ridiculous. Wait for it to come back in stock if they don't have your variant. It's not worth paying an additional $20 for this knife. $50, this is a good deal. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Shout out and thanks to everyone out there that likes, subscribes, and regularly comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week. And until next time, peace.